And Katie, you got a black screen, and that may be what you want, so I'm not going to argue with that. All right, let's get the book on board and a comfortable seat. Shoulders and neck. We have arrived at the pinnacle of the mountain in this practice. I will share though, ironically, I say it often, the shoulders and the necks are just along for the ride. So if we get everything else tended to, we really shouldn't have much work there. So that's in theory, but in reality, there is so much, because we tense, we shrug the shoulders up to the ears, and we squeeze them here. We don't even notice they are held up here. So join me in the squeezer. This is just a great way to get, there she is, hey Sally, get the shoulders to relax. Are we squeezing? Are we squeezing good? Now I'm going to count to 15 as we lower them down. So keep your chin in neutral. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Are they down? A little lower than when you started. This is just a good little snack to do if you've been on the computer for a while, or if you're finding you are really anxious. We protect the heart space, literally by closing it off. And so the traps rise up, the pec majors contract, so we create sort of a turtle shield on our back body to protect ourselves emotionally, the heart chakra and our throat chakra. Love and our own voice, because sometimes life is really overwhelming. This week, it just kept coming in, and the tragedy that we witnessed in Colorado, just on the tail of Atlanta, it is really challenging to both extend your arms out and hug and support everybody that suffers while still tending to ourselves. So the yoga practice at its core looks to provide the support we need personally so that we can, without depleting ourselves, support outwards. Samadhi, where our ego and our own inner suffering has vanished. But that's a tall order, for sure. So let us begin our practice to tend to ourselves first. Taking your thumbs inside your palms, and then close the fingers around the thumbs. Adi Mudra, the first mudra. This one helps release tension around the lungs and the heart, so it facilitates an easier breath. When we are fearful, anxious, sad, we close off again around the heart and the lungs. So I invite you to breathe into the belly, but also let your heart and lungs receive the breath. Grief is seated in our lungs, joy in our hearts. Because the lungs hug the heart, it can easily overshadow the joy inherent to the heart. So as you breathe in and out, connecting to your heart space, connecting to your inner joy, inner light. Breathing in, I know I am breathing in. And breathing out, I know I am breathing out. This is the first meditation mantra in the Thich Nhat Hanh's lineage. Just that. Boom. Providing just enough support for the chatty mind to calm when it flies in every direction. Breathing in and breathing out. Giving yourself a few minutes, longer is better, throughout your day to calm, pause, and connect with your essence. Let's relax the hands, stretch the fingers, and let's switch the cross of the legs. And I'll take the arms out and up, reaching up. And just let them float back down again. Inhaling up and lower down. Sense your shoulder blades moving on your back. Flowing up as you take the arms up and down as the arm goes down. When we move the arms without the shoulder blades, initiating the movement, our rotator cuff tendon gets strained. Now keeping the arms up, let's take the right hand down, just the fingertips, and stretch to the right side. Inhaling up, and let's take the left hand down. Keeping the sits bones well anchored. Allowing the rib cage to be open and free is our first defender for happy shoulders. If that is collapsed, locked, the shoulders don't stand a chance. One more time to the left. Then as we come up, let's twist. Twisting to the right. And inhaling up, reaching. And twist to the left. Make it easy. Meet your movement where it is right now. Not force. It's going from side to side. And then we'll finish up last time on the left. Back. Let's take the arms down. Let's take the legs out in front again, shake them. And then Baddha Konasana. Bring the heels towards the seat. I'm holding on to my shins, my ankles. I'm just going to do cat and cow here, rounding on the out breath, and then lift the heart on the in breath, back and forth. If our upper spine is sort of shooting forward because the shoulders are attached to the sternum, the breastbone, if that's hanging down, then the shoulders are hanging down. So lifting up on the in-breath, that's the orientation we want of the breastbone, facing upward. That's a happy shoulder joint. And now here, let's take the knees back together and take the legs out again. And we're going to set up for Gomukhasana legs, which may not be fully available, but we're going to give it a go. So you're going to take your blanket, and I'm just going to turn them to the skinny end. So instead of sitting on a wide, I'm sitting on a skinny, just wide enough for my hips. I'm still going to be up on two blankets. So remember, when in doubt. So you can also sit on a block here. You don't have to sit on blankets. A block is fine. You're gonna have the legs up in front, slightly bent. Oh, and have a strap nearby. Now thread your left arm under the left leg and catch your right shin or ankle. Left hand catches the shin, and I'm gonna pull it to the outside of the left hip. So I've caught my right ankle and it's on my outside of my left hip. And wiggle, 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 wiggle. My left foot to the outside of my right hip. So this may not be your happy place. So a couple of things you can do. One is slide your right leg forward so it's in a comfortable place. The knees are centered with your body. If this still is Dukkasana, suffering pose, then go to Sukhasana. Cross-legged again, where we started. So Barbara, I would say I'm looking at you first. Sukhasana, cross-legged, because your hips will allow to release down. And you just say, I love you hips. I want to take good care of you. That's what we're doing. And in Gomukhasana, cow face pose, either leg position is valid. Take the strap. And then hold the strap about 3 feet wide. So wider than your shoulders. Now, Janice, you might want to come up on a second blanket too. I think that will just make yours, just fold that one you're on over one more time. So that you have height. So the oiling of the shoulders, inhaling, take the arms up and go back. We inhale back up and we go down again. Great pose to do in front of a mirror. You may be able to see yourself on the screen. Are your arms traveling evenly? Or do you have a leader and a follower? Keep the elbows straight. The goal is not to dislocate your shoulder. So full shoulder mobility is 360 degrees, but in a wider stance. If you find that your shoulders are a little stuck, then do this every day. All right, let's take the strap into our right hand. Hold it in right hand. Take the right arm to the sky. Bend the elbow. And then take your left hand to your right elbow. Reach the right elbow up into the left hand. And maybe invite it back slightly. So your ear and your bicep are close buddies. Let your hands are just dangled down the back. Now take your left arm to your right shoulder blade. This shoulder blade needs to travel away from the spine. So trace it around and forward so that your outer armpit, which is your lats, is moving forward. This is your cow's ear. So your ear, not out here, but right straight up. Let's take the left arm outside, face the palm back, and then slide it up behind the back. Walk the hands up the strap, where you can still breathe and maintain that neutral alignment to the best of your ability of head and spine. So not turning ourselves into a pretzel, just use a longer strap. As you inhale, let's lengthen up into your left elbow and then move the shoulder blade away from the spine. Exhale, draw the right That'll be the left shoulder back. Sorry, I'm mirroring. And then that shoulder blade moves towards the spine. So each breath creates a little awareness of one shoulder blade, inhaling, and we roll the right upper arm towards the face. And we exhale and we move the left shoulder down and away. A little intense sometimes. One more breath. And then release first your left arm, straighten the right, and take it down. Rolling the shoulders a couple of times, each direction. This joint built for mobility. Now take the legs out straight, straighten them, and then we switch. Other side. Now I'm threading my right arm under, catching my left leg, taking it to the outside of my right hip. And woggle, 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 wiggle my right leg to the side. So my leg, supposedly, that is the cow's mouth. And the ears. So there, hence the reason for this pose name, cow face pose. We're going to go right into it this time. Take your left arm to the sky, reaching it up. Keep the elbow straight as you lengthen up. Root down through your left sits bone. So this side is not closed, and all I'm going to do is just going to bend the elbow. Boom. Notice, so watch, notice as you bend the elbow, does your arm go out to the side? Why did the ear drop out? Can you bend it without changing? So there may be some tightness around the fascia in the arm. Why is this important? Oh, let me tell you. Let's take the other arm out. Oh, we need to do the adjustment. Sorry. Thank you. Grab your shoulder blade, pull it away from the spine and forward as you lengthen up through your left elbow. Get as high as you can. Now let's take it out and around. It's important because the fascia, the connective tissue surrounding the lungs and the heart, extends out through the shoulders, into the arms, to the fingers. So any restriction in our arms affects our heart and lungs directly. That's why overall flexibility is so important for your cardiovascular health. So let the work begin here. Inhale, lengthening up into your left elbow as you're just going to bop it onto the ceiling. And as you exhale, draw the right shoulder back and down. And so here's another little fun fact about flexibility that I was just made privy to with some recent research on fascia. Tight fascia is related to cancer. Cancer cells grow faster when the fascia is tight. I think that's fascinating. So there's another reason to do yoga. With each in-breath, we create a little bit more length up, stretch your left armpit. And with the out-breath, we move the right shoulder back and down. And then relax the right arm, straighten the left up, and taking it down. There. Let's roll the shoulders again. Both directions. So now let your right shoulder go ahead, but let the left be a little slower. Like cool shoulders, traveling separately. And we're going to switch it to the other direction, backwards. That's going great. Now keep your right shoulder going backward, but change the left. Let that begin to go forward. How you doing? Let's switch. Left goes back, right goes forward. Notice for me, one side is infinitely easier, or one direction is easier. The other one is like my brain goes, what? and let it all shake out. Let's take the legs out and shake them again. So we're going to talk a lot about retraction and protraction as we practice. So a couple of tools we're going to use. Take one of your blankets and unfold it halfway. And then roll it up into a little baguette. Place this baguette on the mat with the fringes towards the head, and maybe have a blanket for your head. So that's a maybe. You might not know until you get down that your head is going to need a little extra support. But before we come down, just a quick demonstration. I am going to take my shirt off. You can see my shoulders a little bit better. So protracted shoulder forward, retracted back. So I'm moving the shoulder, the humerus bone, the upper arm bone away from the socket. So join me, and then pull them back into the socket. Can you feel how your shoulder blades are separating and then drawing back together? So this is a pure shoulder blade movement. So with that said, let's roll onto the baguette, the skull, your head, and your sacrum is on the roll. In this position, we have placed the head of the shoulders below the spine. So it's a nice way to get a little bit more stretch out of the pec majors. Take the arms out to the sides, palms facing up, and just rock from side to side, rocking from side to side. And as you rock from side to side, don't let the shoulders lift. So you may feel a little bit of stretch. Keep the knees relatively still. So you're just rocking side to side up. The spine, we get a little bit of massage and a little bit of the pec major open. Now from here, squeeze the shoulder blades in and around the blanket. And then relax that. We're just talking to the rhomboids. Squeeze the shoulder blades together again, and you're going to feel the blanket roll right between the shoulder blades. And release. So sometimes the rhomboids are so overstretched that they just cannot keep the shoulder blades where they need to be. And one of the reasons why the shoulders swoop forward. Now, reach the arms, the palms away from each other, so you are protracting. Shoulder blades away, and we're going to lift the arms straight up towards the sky. Now, retract, pull the shoulder blades together. So you feel the arms are sliding down a little bit, and then reach up again. Draw the arms down, squeeze the shoulder blades together. This is what we do in the back bends where the hands are down alongside. In cobra, in bridge pose, we need to do this. But in downward facing dog, protract, take the arms straight up and then reach them overhead. Hold the belly button to the spine. So don't arch. Now the shoulders are protracted. These are our inversions. Inhale and draw the arms back up again, downward facing dog, dolphin, pigeon, not pigeon, peacock. Let's do it again. First, retract, squeeze the shoulder blades together, spread the shoulder blades, and then take the arms overhead without lifting the floating ribs. Keep them down. So we got to get some length on the latissimus dorsi, the lats. This is your wings. Inhale, take the arms up again. One more time. retract, squeeze, shoulder blades together. And then extend, spread the shoulder blades, take the arms over the head, full range of movement. And then from here, we'll take the arms down, up again, and then bend the elbows down. Place the elbows on the mat. Feet are hip width apart. And we are just in such a great place to play a little bit with bridge pose here because that is a shoulder blade down event. But don't make it this your biggest bridge ever. On the next inhalation, press the feet down, lift the hips. So more like an inclined plank. Don't compress the back of your neck, but feel how your shoulder blades, they got a lot of space to move right now. Draw the shoulder blades together. And then let's relax back down. Everything relaxes. So with the arms down alongside the hips, elbows on the mat. So I have my arms bent up, palms are facing each other. You can also have your arms straight. I'm really just interested in what your shoulder blades are doing. Again, pressing the feet down. Squeeze the blanket with your shoulder blades. Don't overlift, so keep awareness of the back of the neck. It's not compressing. You can still sing freely. And we'll lower all the way down. And from here, roll off the blanket roll. Move it out of the way. And we'll come into tabletop. So Margaret, for you, you will be on all fours so as not to irritate your palm. So all fours or hands. Either will work. It's magic that way. Now from here, we're going to repeat. So I'm going to do the forearms, but hands or forearms. We're going to do the same thing again. Keep a neutral spine. And then retract, shoulder blades together, protract, lift up. Now, as you protract and lift up, can you sense there is a little something happening in the side chest? Is it squeezing a little bit? That would be an serratus anterior. We need that muscle on board. And we can sometimes create that sense, if you're not quite sure, as you spread the shoulder blades, let there be a sense of the shoulders hugging together. This is a little button that helps the shoulder blades stay down the back and not up. Now, either tabletop, forearm or hands, let's do cat and cow, rounding as you exhale, arch with the in-breath. Back and forth, easy peasy. And then we go to neutral. Draw the belly button towards the spine. And now protract the shoulders again. Feel like working on at the post office. You get tired of me saying protract and retract? Anything perishable, liquid, or batteries? No. Let's take the right arm forward. Both shoulders are protracted. But left arm is going to have to stabilize. Right arm is forward. We're going to draw little circles with the right arm. Keep lengthening it out as you circle. Round and around. Keep the elbow straight. And then go in the other direction. Round and around. So yes, your left shoulder is working hard at maintaining stability, while at the same time, the right is creating mobility. Let's place the right arm down, right arm or hand. Take a breath in and out. Notice the different sensations in the shoulders. And now, protract again both shoulders, but hug your right shoulder into the socket as you take the left arm forward. Neck is neutral. Don't look up. Don't let the head hang. Do circles with the left arm. Circling the left arm. moving from your shoulder blade. So nothing else is moving. Does this arm feel as strong or stronger than the other one? So we have a dominant side. Let's take the arm down again. And then stretch back to puppy pose. And then from here, either inhale up into tall cobra, so that's on the palms, or coming forward and doing a little curious dog pose. Go back and forth. Puppy, and either the curious dog or tall cobra pose. It's the one that's available to you today. Back and forth. And then I think we are about ready for the shower pose. Bring the hips over the knees. So you can do this pose on the wall, and then there is a lot less strain on the shoulders. You'll walk your hands wider than your mat. Hands are going to be wider than your mat. And that just makes it a little bit more accessible. And I just let my arms go forward. My forearms, my elbow may come down, my chin may come down. It may be my forehead. So this adds an upper back. Keep the hips over the knees. Hips are over the knees. So it's not puppy pose. The arms goes forward. So that invites in a thoracic back bend. This is what we do in Cobra. Now here, keep drawing the outer armpits towards the floor. Outer armpits was you spreading the shoulder blade. Spreading the shoulder blades. Don't let them collapse. Don't let them collapse. And then from here, let's walk the hands back under the shoulders. So we're back in tabletop. That can be a little bit intense. From here, we're going to travel to downward facing dog. And this is a very short dog. And for you, Margaret, I will come into standing. We're going to take a little bit of a pit stop, but standing instead of doing tabletop. So downward facing dog for everybody else. Margie, you might want to come into standing. And if you have a chair or a wall, you can do fingertips on the wall and do a dog here. Fingertips or forearms. And draw back. So whether you wanted your regular dog, take it for a little walk, wiggle it around a little bit. How is your dog today? My dog is having surgery today, but they called and said he did well. And get him home, keep him quiet for a day. That's not going to be possible, but all is well. Now settle into your dog, ground it, spreading the shoulder blades, spread the shoulder blades. Come forward to plank pose. And in plank pose, you may have to adjust your stance. We came up into a very short dog. Taking the knees down, and then retract the shoulders, protract the shoulders, spread the shoulder blades. So don't round the upper back, you're just spreading the shoulder blades. And then from here, without changing hands and feet, pull back to downward facing dog. Pull back to downward facing dog. Keep the shoulder blades spread. So this is your handstand pose. This is your handstand pose. Yes, Martin, you can do it on your forearms. Handstand is part of a full and even yoga practice. Head hangs completely relaxed. So this is how we get traction on our necks. It's a beautiful thing, but not an easy thing. And then on the in-breath, let's look up. Walk or step the hands, feet to the hands, hands to the feet. Take your hands to the hips. And then piston the heels down to shoot yourself all the way up. You done good. Now standing in mountain pose. Let's take the arms out to the sides. Reaching the arms out, and then take the right arm under the left, eagle arms. Eagle arms. See, I got a lot of floor space, but not so much space. Let's see if this is better. Bending the knees, so take your feet close together. Feet are close together. So this may be where your happy eagle is today. Let's get a little bit in on the arms before we go further. So use your buns, belly button on the spine. You are pulling the elbows apart, which allows your shoulder blades to spread a little bit wider. And then draw the shoulders down and relax the chin to the chest. Now maybe lift your left heel, so the right leg is going to have to do all of it, and take the leg across. Toes can come down. So you can have your toes on the floor, but bending both knees and doing your lower legs what you're doing in your forearms. And then maybe lift, maybe not. So this can help, again, create a little bit more space on the back. All right, let's see if our eagle will take flight. As you inhale, unravel the arms, take the leg out to the side, and back to Tadasana. If you're really stressed, people are just pounding at you, it keeps coming, give yourself an eagle break. When we balance, it really helps focus the mind. Let's do the other side. Arms out to the side. So this time, take your left arm under the right. We'll draw the shoulders down, lift the elbows up. So I'm not trying to stand up tall. I just let my spine be neutral. So I'm leaning slightly forward in my upper trunk, but I keep my heels very well weighted. I can still do all of the work of pulling the forearms apart, take the chin to the chest, so I get a little upper trap stretch. And now I can evaluate left heel. Will it come up? If so, slide across or stay in Utkatasana. The pose is where you choose it to be today. That is the right place for you. So we draw the forearms apart without them going anywhere, isometrically affecting the shoulders. And the same with the shins. So there's a sense of hugging the thighs in, but pulling the shins apart. Help spread your tail feathers a little bit. And from here, woohoo, will the eagle take flight again? Unravel the arms, leg out to the side, and land it. Well done. Tadasana. Ground. Firm. So we are getting closer to the dolphin event. So let's just ponder this one on the wall first. So thank you for asking. Let's interlace our fingers first. Bend the elbows. So all I did, I'm still in mountain pose, didn't change anything. And from here, take the arms up. Will my elbows go straight up over my shoulders, hips, and ankles without splaying out? So they need to stay in. From here, I invite you to find a wall and place your elbow shoulder height. Place your elbow shoulder height and shoulder wide. Shoulder height, shoulder wide. And then walk the feet back. Walk the feet back. And as you do so, Pull the hips back over the heels. Pull the hips back over the heels. Forearms on the wall, forearms on the wall. Pull them down, Barbara, pull them down. Yes, pull them down, Katie. Barbara, take your shoulders, your forearms down lower so that your elbows are shoulder height, and shoulder wide, shoulder wide. So narrow your elbows. Yes, and then walk the hips back and walk the feet back and take the hips back. So you're basically doing dolphin right now. So the hips go back over the heels, over the heels, over the heel. Pull the belly button in. So the main muscle that we're chatting with right now is the latissimus dorsi, your wings, quite literally. This is in Lauren Fishman's book. He uses this pose for shoulder rehabilitation for rotator cuff tears. So that was a freebie. Now it's in your tool bag. Let's walk back towards the wall. And take the hands down, go back to your mat. We got time for this. We sure have time for this. You're going to take your strap. So the lats attach down here below the ribs. They attach to the epineurisis, the thick fascia band on the lower back. And then they end on your upper arm bone. So that flappy stuff in the back of your armpit, that's the latissimus dorsi. You see people at the grocery store that says, can you reach that on the top shelf? Because this muscle has gotten so tight, they have lost the reins of mobility. So how do we get some room back on that little thing? Well, let's step the feet about 3.5, 4 feet apart. So you're going to face the long side of your mat. Turn the right foot in, left leg out. And we're going to continue all the way around for warrior one. So as I spin my shoulders and my hips, I lift my back heel. So I can take my hips all the way around with me. Your right heel all the way back. And now I'm going to land that back heel down. We'll calf event. And bend my front leg. Bend the front knee. Over the ankle. Boom. Let's take the arms to the sky. Pull on the strap as you extend up, 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 up. Keep that back leg firm, super firm. Front knee over. Straighten the back leg, straighten the back leg. Front knee is bent over the ankle. Oh, you guys look good. And inhale, standing up. Take the arms down and spin the feet to the other side. Lift the back heel to complete that dance. Bend the front knee. And we take the arms up again. Pull the belly in and up. So we're getting a nice little hip flexor event going now on the left leg. As you straighten the knee, when the knee wants to buckle, it's because the hip flexor is like, no. So can you ground it a little bit firmer? And then you lift, pull the ribs up and away from the hips. Up. Get room for your belly. Remember, the digestion is the most important aspect of our health. But if there's no room for it, if our ribs are sitting down on the hips, everything is just congested. How are you creating lift? Lift, lift. Lots of lift. Up. Pull on the strap. Pull it as you're trying to pull it wider. So that strengthens the posterior deltoid, the back of the shoulder. And as you exhale, take the arms down. Bend down, put the strap on the mat as you step back to downward facing dog or forearm dog, which we are going to get to really soon for dolphin. But first, we're going to come forward to plank pose. Plank pose. That can be on the forearms too. Perfectly fine. And as you now breathe and hold plank, spreading the shoulder blades. So is your body in a plank? Is there a straight line from ear to shoulder to hips to heels? You can always take the knees down and maintain that. So don't strain. Great core pose, they say. Let the knees come down, lower all the way down. And as you lower all the way down, take your strap again between your hands, take it out in front, and let your forehead rest on the mat or blanket. That keeps the back of the neck long. Now pressing the hips down, stretch back through your toes. And then inhale, lift the arms, lift the head, lift the heart, pull on the strap. So you're doing the exact same thing as we did in Warrior One. Exactly the same thing, except now we have the benefit of gravity. As you exhale, lower down. Woo-wee. And we're going to do that one more time. When you're ready, lift arms, head, heart, and maybe the legs. Taking care you're not overlifting the head. That, again, your arms and your head travels together as it did in Gomukhasana. So you're trying to levitate yourself clear off the mat. Pulling up is one of the most beneficial poses there is, in my opinion, the whole yoga practice. And exhale, lower down, pause. We're going to come onto the forearms for Sphinx pose. With the arms parallel, legs parallel, reaching back through again your toes. So you feel, you have 10 toenails on the mat, drawing the tailbone towards your heels. If this is a really happy place for your spine, you may have some whispering of a disc that may be traveling. So this is a good pose for you. If this is really uncomfortable, there may be some stenosis of the spine. So it's sometimes one of the ways that a physician will help diagnose what's causing the back pain. Well, we're going to play a little bit more with it, though, not the back pain, but the strengthening aspect. So elbows are down, so that must mean we are in a retract. So pull the shoulder blades together and down the back. Does that give you a little bit more thoracic, more upper back bending abilities? Adding to this little event, imagine that you're squeezing a beach ball between your elbows and you feel the side chest beginning to engage. Serratus anterior. So much so that you can lift the hips. And maybe tuck the toes and lift up into forearm plank. The knees can stay down. Perfectly fine. Let's take the knees down and walk the knees in. I'll save that dreaded walk. Tuck the toes under here. Squeeze the beach ball again. So shoulders are protracted and beach ball is squeezed. Belly button to the spine. And then lift the knees, lift the hips. Lift the knees, lift the hips, or what we did on the wall just a second ago. And you're welcome to go back to the wall if this is a happier place for you to be. Here we get the benefit of the traction of the neck. You can walk the feet in closer, but don't let your shoulders travel past your elbows. So when you walk the feet in, the hips go up, 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 up. If your hamstrings allow, you will eventually have your hips over your shoulders. Lift the hips, lift, 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 and exhale, take the knees down and rest in wide kneed child's pose or happy baby on your back. Same pose. So choose the one that makes your body happy. Inviting the breath into your back body. And then take your hands under your shoulders and sit up. So for Shavasana today, I'm going to couple of invitations. One is, hair in my mouth. Take your blanket and then so I'm not taking a big thick blanket, but I am going to roll up the rounded end, just one fold. One fold. This is for my neck. When the head is forward, if that is our tendency with the forward head, the neck, that cervical spine, the curve begins to flatten. That is not ideal. So to help that recreate, we can place a blanket roll under. And then a second blanket, you might like that under your knees so that we can take the psoas out of it, because if the psoas is tight, and we just do that, then that will pull the pelvis down and make everything pop up on the top. So as you come onto your back, the blanket roll doesn't press harshly up into your neck. It just provides enough support that a curve is encouraged in your back. So as you lay down, just take a moment and evaluate, is it comfortable? Are you comfortable here? Is there something that your body would like you to change? If so, do so. It could be just to cover yourself with a blanket. Shavasana is supposed that correlates to samadhi. This is where the work is done. We've done the work. Now we reap the benefits. But only if it's comfortable. If there is still struggle, then that's where our attention will go. So just notice, did you place yourself with the palms facing down? If so, can you just gently roll your upper arm out so that your palms come to rest facing up? That, again, will facilitate spaciousness across your shoulders, your breath. You can repeat Adi Mudra here. Thumb tucked inside your palm. So mudras, we don't have to think about them. We just place our hands in that position and then we receive the benefit. No mantras to be repeated or certain breath to be invoked. It is just through holding it. Some mudras you're not going to like. And trust that. If your body says, this is not what I need right now, don't try to force or struggle by holding it. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathe in to my body. I sense my body. And as I breathe out, I smile to my body. Breathing in, I sense my mind. Breathing out, I smile to my mind. Breathing in, I sense my heart. Breathing out, I smile to my heart. Breathing in, I sense my heart. And breathing out, I smile to my heart. And I let this smile in my heart expand outward. Smile filled of compassion and love, spaciousness that can hold and fold whomever may need it. Allow yourself to rest into your smile, into your ease and wellness. And then gently begin to deepen your breath, wiggling fingers and toes. Bending up your knees and rock your knees from side to side. Rolling all the way over onto one side. And then use your arms and hands to press in to the floor to sit up into a comfortable seated posture. So as we sit, noticing your heart, each chakra supports the one above it, and the one above it supports the one below it. But because the heart chakra is intricately related to our ability to speak the truth of our heart, then chanting is what benefits or helps open our throat chakra. Om is the most powerful of all our chants. So we'll close with 3 Oms. Let's take a deep breath in. Exhale and bow your head towards your heart. Your magnificent light meant to be shared. We'll draw the gaze up. Namaste.